He called us a circus. We beat them 3-0. And now, after another defeat at the racecourse, Nathan Jones still can't help himself. Alright, Wrexham fans, if you love the Red Dragons like I do, and you're tired of people disrespecting this football club, hit that subscribe button and let's dive into this absolute madness. Saturday afternoon at the racecourse ground. Wrexham 1, Charlton Athletic 0. 3 points that push us further up the championship table. A proper performance from the lads. Josh Windass slots home a late penalty. The fans are bouncing, and Phil Parkinson's side have just recorded their 3rd consecutive home victory. But here's where it gets interesting. After the final whistle, Nathan Jones, the Cardiff-born Charlton manager who caused absolute carnage last season with his circus comments, decided he hadn't quite learned his lesson. In his post-match press conference, Jones claimed Wrexham needed a gift to beat his side, suggested we wouldn't have scored without a bizarre handball from his substitute, and, this is brilliant, said he barely heard the Wrexham fans except when they were chanting about him. Mate, if you've ever been to the racecourse on match day, you know that's absolute nonsense. But this isn't just about one manager having a moan after a defeat. This is about a feud that's been brewing for months, about respect, and about a football club that's climbed from non-league obscurity to the championship whilst the world watched. Nathan Jones tried to diminish what we've built, and once again, Wrexham had the last laugh. But to understand why this moment matters so much to every Wrexham supporter, we need to go back to where this all started. April 2024. Picture this, Wrexham and Charlton Athletic are locked in a proper scrap for automatic promotion from League One. Both clubs desperate to reach the championship. Both sets of fans dreaming of second-tier football. The tension is thick, the stakes are massive, and every match feels like a cup final. Then Nathan Jones opens his mouth. In a pre-match interview, the Charlton boss refers to Wrexham as the Circus. Now, he'd later claim he meant the media attention, the Hollywood owners, the documentary cameras following every move. But here's the thing. When you're a proper football club with 160 years of history, when you're a community that's bled for this team through administration and heartbreak, and 25 years outside the Football League, being called a circus feels like a slap in the face. Phil Parkinson didn't hold back. Our gaffer, a man who's usually measured and respectful, called Jones out publicly for being disrespectful. The Wrexham faithful were fuming. Social media went into overdrive. This wasn't just about football anymore. It was personal. Behind the scenes, Parkinson used it. He pinned those comments on the dressing room wall. The lads were buzzing with anger, the kind of proper anger that fuels performances. And when match day arrived at the racecourse ground, the atmosphere was electric. No one needed reminding what was at stake. Wrexham absolutely battered Charlton that day. 3-0, dominant, clinical, the kind of performance that sends a message. The Red Dragons secured automatic promotion whilst Jones and his Charlton side had to settle for the playoffs. They eventually went up too, but the damage was done. Wrexham fans had a new villain, and Nathan Jones had earned himself a special place in racecourse folklore for all the wrong reasons. Fast forward to this season, both clubs are in the championship, a level Wrexham hasn't competed at since the 1980s. The fixture list comes out, and there it is, Wrexham versus Charlton at the racecourse ground, round 2. The fans have been waiting for this since the moment Jones made those comments. This wasn't just another match, this was unfinished business.
Saturday arrives. Nathan Jones rocks up to North Wales again, and the Wrexham supporters are ready. As his coach pulls up, they're there waiting with a chant that must have stung. "Football in a circus! You're just football in a circus!" Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Turning his own words back on him. Jones insisted there was no bad blood, claimed they'd moved on, but you could see it in his face. The comments still bothered him. The attention from the Wrexham crowd was getting under his skin. The match itself is a proper championship battle. Physical, intense, both sides creating chances. Charlton come into the fixture on a 5-match unbeaten run. They're confident, organised, and for large parts of the first half, they're the better side. Wrexham are struggling to break them down. The race course is willing the lads forward, but Charlton's defence is holding firm. Then, the 77th minute. James McLean, that warrior of a left-back, whips in a cross from the flank. And here's where it gets bizarre. Charlton's substitute, Onel Hernandez, for reasons only he can explain, handles the ball inside the box. Clear penalty, no debate. The referee points to the spot immediately. Josh Windus steps up, cool as you like, sends the keeper the wrong way, the net bulges, the race course absolutely erupts. Windus wheels away, the fans are going mental, and Wrexham are 1-0 up with just over 10 minutes to play. Charlton push for an equaliser, but Wrexham hold firm. Arthur Okonkwo solid in goal, the back line throwing bodies on the line. McLean at 35 years old, running like he's 25. And when that final whistle blows, the celebrations begin. But the Wrexham supporters haven't forgotten who's in the away dugout. As the clock ticks down, they start singing. Loud, passionate, direct. You've seen the circus, now fuck off home. Nathan Jones is standing there on the touchline, and you can see it. The frustration, the annoyance. This was meant to be different. Charlton was supposed to show they'd moved on, prove they could compete at this level. Instead, they've just been beaten by the circus again. What happened next is where this story gets even better. Jones walks into the post-match press conference, and instead of showing a bit of grace, a bit of humility after a defeat, he doubles down. First, he claims Wrexham fans were quiet. Says he didn't hear them much, except when they were chanting about him. If you were at the race course on Saturday, or if you've watched literally any footage from the match, you know that's complete fantasy. The place was rocking from minute one, but Jones, clearly rattled, decides to take a dig at the home support. Then comes the real kicker. He says, and this is a direct quote, "Wrexham needed that today. They needed us to gift them something, and we did. I didn't see them scoring, and I didn't see them breaking our defence." Let that sink in. Wrexham dominated the second half, created chances, controlled the tempo, and ultimately deserved the 3 points. But according to Jones, the only reason we won was because of a Charlton mistake. No credit to Windus for a composed penalty, no acknowledgement of Wrexham's performance, just excuses. He even threw in another bizarre claim, calling the racecourse a Bermuda Triangle because his squad was depleted with injuries and illness, the same thing he'd complained about before the match in April. The reaction from Wrexham fans was swift and brutal. Social media lit up. One supporter wrote, "No mention of Wrexham doing well, a dig at the home crowd. Some really respectful clubs in this division, but Charlton need to learn a bit of humility." Another said, "Must have been a different game to the one I watched if he thought the Wrexham fans were quiet." Even neutral observers were shaking their heads. This wasn't just a manager disappointed after a loss. This was a man who clearly still hasn't accepted what Wrexham represent. The circus comment from last season wasn't a slip of the tongue. This is how Nathan Jones genuinely views this football club. Here's why this matters, beyond just one match result. Wrexham have climbed from the National League to the Championship in 3 extraordinary years. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney brought global attention, sure, the documentary cameras follow the journey, but underneath all of that is a proper football club with proper supporters who've earned every single bit of success. When someone like Nathan Jones dismisses Wrexham as a circus or suggests we only win because of opponent mistakes, it's respectful to Phil Parkinson, to the players who've grafted to reach this level, and to a community that supported this club through absolute hell. But here's the beautiful irony. Every time Jones opens his mouth, he only makes himself look smaller whilst Wrexham keep rising. 3 points on Saturday moves us further up the championship table. That's 3 consecutive home wins. The lads are adapting to this level, learning every week and proving they belong. Nathan Jones, meanwhile, is stuck fighting yesterday's battles. Charlton are in 14th place, mid-table obscurity, whilst their manager continues to obsess over a football club he once called a circus. At the end of the day, this is what being a Wrexham fan is all about. The doubters, the critics, the people who said we'd never make it this far. Nathan Jones tried to diminish what we've built, and we responded the only way we know how, on the pitch, with passion, with 3 points. From Hollywood to the racecourse, from the National League to the Championship, this football club has proven time and time again that we're not going anywhere. Call us a circus all you want, we'll just keep winning. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Should Nathan Jones finally show some respect, or is he just making himself look daft? Hit like if you're back in the Red Dragons no matter what, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you Reds!